Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all latest news that happened during the week of mobile and tech and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below and I will answer it before the end of the show. Alright guys, so we have a lot more news this week than in a couple of past weeks. I do want to let you guys know ahead of time we are going to be missing more than likely next week's episode of Mobile Weekly. I'll do a post on YouTube and X and Threads and everything, but just to let you know that ahead of time, I'm going to be getting back from a trip, so depending on how that feels, if I get a little tired on the way back, then I might just not be able to do the weekly next week. All right, now with that being said, let's get to the news. So first off, we have some renders of the Galaxy S24 Ultra, as well as the regular Galaxy S24. And I mean, let me know what you guys think. I feel like this is par for the course at this point. Like, they look like the evolution of Galaxies. They look for the most part the same. What do you guys think? Like, this is, it is what we've been seeing. It's literally the same kind of shtick at this point. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I haven't been excited for Galaxy design for the last 2 or 3 years because it's been kind of the same at this point. But yeah, that is just what I would say when it comes to that. Very similar looking styles from it. I will say this one looks a little bit too more iPhone-y. Again, these are just renders, so always have to take that with a grain of salt. They are supposed to be with the new titanium builds on the Ultra, so you can kind of see a little bit of a difference in look from it. And it's supposed to be a little bit even more boxy this time around with a flat display, no curvature on it. So let me know what you guys think. So this was Phone Arena's renders, and then we also have from a tipster that just came out, which has been reliable in the past, so we'll have to wait and see if it stays true. But again, very similar to what we've seen before, not too much of a difference. I mean, let me take mine out of my case, but if we compare it, like, how much different is it really compared to the S23 Ultra? In this case, all of the lenses and lights are even the same. Now, if you don't know, Samsung does usually switch this slightly. Like, the S23 and the S24 had a slightly difference in this, and that's because you wanted new cases. So that's why that happened. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. When it comes to it, it is you know, it is what it is, but that is just something that I would say stands out to me in all seriousness. All right, titanium build. It'll be an amazing processor next year, but we'll have to wait and see what it comes out with. From what we've heard, the Ultra specifically might lose its 10x optical zoom and get a little bit more towards, okay, instead of 10x optical, it would be a 5x optical, but with a higher resolution sensor. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes, but very curious to see how it'll be. All right. Now, another big news for me specifically this week on stuff I don't need to buy, but it's out there. So there was two big announcements in tech this week, and the first one was the Steam Deck OLED. For those of you who don't know what a Steam Deck is, it is essentially a portable PC on the go in the style of a Nintendo Switch. So think about, like, the ability of a Nintendo Switch, so on the go gaming, but with game levels of a God of War or a Cyberpunk 2077 or any of the high end games that you might normally only be available to play on a Xbox Series X or a PS5 can be played on a Steam Deck. Now, the Steam Deck, the original one, came out, I want to say 2 years ago now at this point, or at least a year and change, I feel like. And then I bought that one originally. I ended up selling it because I did buy after that another one called the ROG Ally, and I do like this one. I've got a little case for it and everything like that. And this one is really nice. It had a better display compared to the original Steam Deck, and this one had Windows on it, which is a good and a downside. On Steam Deck, you can't easily play things like Xbox Game Pass or Fortnite on there. On the Ally, you can play that easily because it has Windows. However, it's not as smooth on certain Steam things, so it's a give and take, right? They both have advantages over each other, but this one was the better one with the better display. It cost a little bit more money, but I sold my Steam Deck in order to buy that one, so it was kind of like, all right, it was all fine. Now, this one came out. Now, the real thing that I will say that everyone is kind of shocked by it is that having an OLED display makes it look like it's a better resolution. A lot of people have said this is a better screen than the ROG Ally, which is the one I have. The ROG Ally is a 1080p display. This Asus Steam Deck is 800p. The reason why that's so important is because really brightness and colors do matter a lot. And I always have said that. It's one of the reasons why I still say, like, the Samsung tablets are still better than iPads for streaming movies because iPads are still using mini LED technology, which is great for its brightness. But now that OLED is doing such good brightness, especially in Samsung tablets, it's really like it's not that big of a difference. So that is going to be the big thing, that the OLED on the Steam Deck is making even me consider, like, I don't need this. I don't. I really really don't need this. But it's an upgrade. And not only in that, it does upgrade a couple of other things. So this is similar to the version I bought. I actually bought the 512 version. And then this is the OLED. So it does come with a slightly upgraded processor, slightly better RAM, but the performance, Valve, who owns Steam, has said it's going to be basically similar performance. So they're not claiming more. A lot of influencers right now are benchmarking and seeing similar, a slight bump up, but nothing too much. But of course, the HDR OLED is really good, especially it's 1000 nit brightness, so it's probably the brightest out of all of these right now. 90 hertz display, better Bluetooth, better Wi-Fi, but here's the kicker. It's better battery life. On high-end games, almost everyone is getting an hour more battery life. And this has been tested on a lot of influencers playing like Cyberpunk, a really high-end game, and you're getting an additional hour now on battery life on those. Plus, it's slightly lighter because this one was heavier than, say, the ROG Ally. So this is a really good thing. I would say if you have a Steam library, it is a really good time to buy this because it can play virtually any game out there on the market right now. To a very good degree. If it's on Steam, it will most likely be able to play it. You can always check for Steam Deck compatibility before, by the way, and you'll see plays well with Steam. You get a whole list, but I can tell you I've personally played like Spider-Man on there, no problem. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake on there, no problem. Like very good, high quality games, great. So yeah, it really is something that I really will say, like, the fans quieter, like they just improved a lot of things. So yeah, I don't need it. I do not need it, but I am glad for everyone that might be looking for something like this. It's really good. Now again, the ROG Ally or the Lenovo Legion Go that just came out are better for having Windows on there. So if you do want to play, like, again, Fortnite or Xbox Game Pass games, then you're going to want to go with one of those. I would probably go with the Legion at this point. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents for you guys. But again, starting off at really good price points. I mean, the price point for this one is, I want to say, $549 for the base model OLED, and then even the higher end one is like, yeah, 549 and 649 for the 1 terabyte OLED, and 512 for the 549 one. So really good prices. Yeah, I will say that, like, it's something really good. If you're thinking about it, you should check it out. Very good for on the go gaming. So yeah. All right. Then the other one is actually one that I feel like I should be more interested in, but I'm not. Um, so this is the Humane AI pen. It is supposed to be a replacement for a smartphone eventually, but right now it's more of an accessory, kind of like a smartwatch. And the idea behind it is it's a pin that you put on your shirt, right? And with this pin, let me just grab another shot. Um, you essentially, so you put it on your shirt, right? You can put it with a latch, which is magnetic, a battery booster, or a little clip. And the idea behind it is that you can see it on your hand and then click and interface with it with your fingertips. And you can take a photo, you can do all of these fun things with it. But yeah, I'm supposed to like this. I feel like I feel like I'm supposed to like this, but there are a couple of hiccups for me specifically. The biggest one is that this can do things like show your notifications. It can do things like use the camera to scan things or take photos of things and give you information about it. Hence the AI part. So here's the thing. It costs $700, $699, which okay, whatever. Smartwatches were more expensive when they were first coming out, right? They were around the $500 price range. Weren't quite this expensive, but fine. $700, and then it costs $24 per month monthly subscription, which is required. What? Like, I I don't understand. I feel like they set themselves up for failure. I really do. Because the subscription should not be there. Like, maybe if you want specific AI things, or maybe like I don't understand the subscription. Like, okay, yes, it helps you translate. It helps you, like it helps you do things that quite honestly smartphones already do, but without needing to pull out your smartphone. It's supposed to be a more natural thing. So here's my thing. I would easily, easily take smart glasses over this. Like, why wouldn't you? Smart glasses are just as invasive as having a little clip with a camera on it on you. And if anything, smart glasses do a better job of this. Theoretically, should cost less than $700. I think smart glasses will be anywhere between $300 and $500 in terms of launching when they launch with Samsung, Google, and Apple. Well, maybe not Apple. Apple might be $800. But that's what I foresee when it happening. I do not see any of them charging a subscription fee. The only one I could see actually doing something similar to this with a subscription fee is someone like Microsoft that might do a Chat GPT real world. So, that makes more sense. But even Chat GPT is $20 a month. $24 a month. Like, I just do not get that. I really don't. Because that is effectively $576 more a year. So you're going to be I don't get it. I don't. Like, I feel like I'm supposed to be excited for this thing. And people have asked me about it. Like, I just I don't get it. And maybe I'm not meant to. These are former Apple executives catering to what they learned from Apple and making this ecosystem, right? That's why they call it the AI pin complete system. Like, I just don't get it's not for me. And just because it makes no practical sense or any sense whatsoever, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. Is this something that's interesting to you? Like, I could understand a fun factor of a communication device on there, of being able to record. Again, I think the POV recording is really something exciting. I like the idea of the Meta Ray Bans that were recording like that. I like some of these ideas, really, I do. But what I can't understand is just like I can't understand a $24 subscription for service for a project that might not even be around next year, in my opinion. Like I don't see it. Let me know what you guys think. But I just think they shot too high. I think this is going to be more of oh God, what was the company that Andy Rubin, the creator of Android, the Essential Phone. Essential Phone was a great concept. Did really things that we're copying now. They were the first phone with the titanium frame that Apple just copied. Like they were the first one to do that. They had pogo pin sensors, which LG then copied and Motorola then copied. Like they were the first to do a lot of these things that other people copied. So I think as a concept, as some of the things they're showing off could come later, but this isn't it, in my opinion. So yeah. All right, now moving back to Samsung and the glasses that I'm really interested in and cannot wait for is I do believe that Samsung's XR headset to compete with Apple's headset is coming out with the Galaxy Z Flip 6 next year. So here's the thing about that. I don't really care about the XR. I really don't. What I care about is supposedly Samsung's smart glasses will come out at that same time. And that's what I really want. That's what I really care about. I don't care about Samsung coming back to the XR realm. I was around. I was showing people how to use Gear VRs when they first came out. So I was with Samsung in the beginning of the VR adventures. Um, I didn't care, like, or not that I didn't care. I saw where it went, and the MetaQuest was perfect. The MetaQuest 2 was the best designed VR headset ever made, in my opinion. The MetaQuest 3 is far better in quality, but it's overpriced. At $500, no one's going to buy it as much. So, like, when it gets down to $350, people will come back to it, or even 400. I think that'll be more of a generalized price for it. I don't think, you know, I get it. Meta has lost too much money at this point, and they were trying to do what Amazon did. A lot of people have tried to copy this formula. So let me just let you know. A lot of tech companies, when they sell these products, they're selling them at a loss. From PlayStations to Xboxes, all of these kind of components are done at a loss. But the idea behind it is what Amazon did and perfected. Amazon sold all their products at a loss, because they wanted to get you on the subscription services, and it worked. So all of these Kindles, for Kindle tablets more so, the Fire tablets, all of the Fire sticks are typically sold at a loss, but so they can make sure that they keep subscribers. And having billions of dollars every month in subscribers has made well for them. So that's the idea behind it. When all these companies try to do it at a loss, they want you to get the Xbox Game Pass. They want you to get, the PlayStation Plus. They want you to get these services so that it pays for itself in the end. And even if they're selling the console at a $50, $100 loss, they'll make that back from you as a subscriber within a year, 2 years, and then they keep recouping more and more money. So yeah, that's the idea behind it. But yeah, so the XR headset is coming out. Looks like the second half of next year. Basically, they'll see the response that Apple gets in February and March, and then fine tune to get a better version of it out towards the end of the year, which is fine. Like I don't think this will do well. I think even if Samsung is like, look, ours is $800 and it has almost all of what Apple has, I still don't think people will buy it, because I don't think people will care about XR or VR as much as companies still try to push for it. VR headsets are what the MetaQuest 2 was. $200 to $300 headsets is the sweet spot for VR, and no one has designed a VR headset with enough good content to sell otherwise. I've never seen it done, and stats prove it. So yeah, It's like fetch. Stop trying to make it happen. Um, all right. In some very sad news, at least sadly postponed. Qualcomm satellite text plan is not going to happen, and it's because phone makers (OEMs) are not interested. So Samsung, Google, all these companies were pitched, and they were just like, "Yeah, we don't want to pay the additional fee for it. So no, we're not interested." So what could happen? Their next pitch is going to now be to carriers. So this is an interesting thing because carriers would like advantages more than another carrier, right? So I think this could actually be something, a little bit of an interesting battle. Which U.S. carrier do you think would go for this? Um, because they could essentially require all phone manufacturers to have this, or they could require all phone manufacturers up to a certain amount. Like if your phone costs more than 500, you are now required to have this because we're going to pitch it that our carrier provider service has this at an additional fee, most likely. But it is going to be the same they can pitch. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this one. But yeah, I wish it would have gone to like a Samsung or a Google, or just standardized across the board. But it was a really cool thing because it basically took what Apple did and made it a lot better. So you could actually text, and it was just a really cool thing to be able to do. Text back and forth instead of just send one message, which is what Apple does. It does send the coordinates and message, and it's better than the SOS as well. So hopefully something of this will come out, or another company might even do a better job than Qualcomm. But yeah, let me know what you guys think on that one. All right, and then my hope is that something like this happens. Apparently, Google and major carriers want Europe to regulate Apple's iMessage, because this is the only way that it's going to ever happen. I think it's time at this point, but we'll have to wait and see. So, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, is iMessage has been Apple's greatest tool since it came out. Like the majority of, and I have switched people from iPhones to Android for over 15 years now, and phones haven't even been out that long. No, I want to say probably, yeah. I mean, since 2009 is when I started, so I think we're at 14 years now. So yeah, but even before then, I was having people choose creative MP3 players over iPods. So it's been a long journey for me, let's just say that. The number one reason over the past 8 years that people have not wanted to leave Apple has always, 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 always been iMessage. It's their best walled garden ever. It is better than anything else. And iMessage is the first thing, FaceTime is second, which is why if Google never killed Hangouts, it was literally a 2-in-1 of them, and you could do it cross platform. But anyway, Google's mistakes aside, um, this is to pressure Apple to just accept RCS messages. Which, if Apple would accept RCS messages, it would effectively fix all communication between Android and iOS. Just one sweep. Done, fixed. Everyone's photos would be able to be text. Everyone's videos would look amazing quality no matter who you text it to. Reactions, stickers, everything. Everything would be fixed. Everything would be fixed. Apple doesn't want that. There's no reason why they would want that, because of the fact that it tells people, hey, we can sell you an iPhone. Like that's what Tim Cook said. He's like, hey, if I just want to text a 4K video to my mother, and she's on another phone besides Apple, I think it's just a great idea for you guys to support it. He's like, well, I will tell you what, I would love to sell your mom an iPhone. That was his response. So, short of it, obviously. But so Europe did just make Apple do Type C, so now regulators are like, man, can we get this one more thing? One more thing. just do it for Apple's sake. One more thing. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I think it would literally, you would get a minimum, a minimum of 1 million people switch like that in the US to Android as soon as iMessage would leave, or as soon as the benefits of iMessage would leave, rather. I think you would have at least 1 million people switch. Like, you have no, and I'm talking about in the first year, you will have more people switch. It will be the first shift in a long time of Android finally going the other way in the US. Now, Android is the dominant platform worldwide, because outside of the US, Apple doesn't do as well. But that is one thing. Like, it would just be like, it would be something, by the way, that just because it's in Europe, it doesn't mean that it would be in the US. But man, if Europe would do it, I would hope the US would. But we'll have to wait and see. All right. And then the last news I just wanted to share with you guys. Right now, you can get a better trade in for your Samsung Galaxy Fold. So Samsung is doing some early Black Friday deals. I got early access to it because I'm a gold member, gold rewards member, or whatever. But for Black Friday, Samsung is going to give a amazing deal. Specifically, I want to call out for anyone that not has a Fold 4, which is a good deal right now because they're giving you a lot more trade-in value for it. But if you have a Fold 3, if you have a Galaxy Z Fold 3, you're getting $1,000 trade-in for it right now. That is really, really good. So I would highly recommend anyone who is interested in that, go ahead and take a look. I'm going to put this link in the description for you guys. But that is just really good. Black Friday. And now everyone should have this deal by next week, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But if you are higher tier rewards on Samsung.com, you'll get it now. But yeah, so Fold 5. So I would just recommend that for this reason alone. And follow my logic here. All right. Right now, you would get $1,000 for your Z Fold 5, which Samsung would normally give you $300 for. Say, if whatever, if you want to get a Galaxy Z Fold, or to get a Galaxy Z Fold 6 next year, or to get a Galaxy S24 Ultra next year, right? Right now, you're getting $1,000 trade-in for your phone, okay? Which means your phone will end up being somewhere along the lines of, I don't know why it's that low. I think it's something like 500, depending on your tax or. So yeah, 1,002. Is that right? Instant savings. Yeah. So I swear it was lower earlier. Maybe it's because I switched something. I would have to go back and check. But what that would cause you is, you get a better phone now, and it would be 1,259, right? So this is how much you would pay for your new phone. If you trade in this phone later, it will at least be worth another 1,000. So effectively, you are only, you can kind of say you're investing your money in a sense because you're paying 259 for it, right? But you're getting effectively $1,000 for it if you buy the S24 Ultra, or if you buy the what do you call it? Or if you buy the Galaxy Z Fold 6 next year. So I think it's a good investment, actually, to be quite honest. And maybe that's why. Is it not doing the trade-in? Hold on. Yes. There you go. That's what I hadn't done the trade-in. Okay, so yeah, 559. So effectively, you're gonna get $1,000 for this phone later, right? So it is a really good investment, I would say, for most people to get it for that reason, because yeah, you're saving a lot of money with the trade-in. So I would definitely recommend it. But yeah, put the link in the description, and that is everything for today in terms of the news. Now, let's get to your questions. I did see a super chat, so I'm going to start off with that, and then I will go over everything else. John, will you be doing a best tech deals of Black Friday this year? Yeah, sure, I will. I think I'm going to do it like probably Thanksgiving, like midnight is typically when I kind of get started with it. And if I don't do it, I'm debating. I'm debating on either doing a live stream at midnight, right between Thanksgiving and Black Friday, or I could do like I'll record it and edit it and all that stuff, and then post it that morning, say like around 7 a.m. or something along those 7 to 8 a.m. Let me know which one would you guys rather prefer actually for the Black Friday deals. And thank you so much, John, for the super chat donation. But let me know which one would you guys rather have. Would you guys rather have a midnight Black Friday live stream, or would you rather have like in the morning 7 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time? These are the best deals, like and it might be more deals that way. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Um, a Galaxy Fold for 800. How is that possible? How's your Galaxy Fold 800? Which one? Let me know. In 2024, there are rumors of an affordable foldable. Oh, you're talking about the rumors of a Galaxy Fold. So that is a rumor right now. That there will be a Galaxy Fold FE, essentially a more affordable Samsung Galaxy device. Yeah, that is a rumor right now. I don't believe it. I believe that a Galaxy Fold FE would go for around 1,000 to 1,200. I don't see it being $800. I see, if anything, you will have a Galaxy Flip possibly go a more affordable, just like Motorola did, where they did the high end coming in at 1,000, and then a lower tier one coming in at around 800 to 700. I could see that happening more easily. I do not think we're going to get a Fold per se to be that inexpensive. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, Samsung has some very, very high ambitions for their foldables, and next year, unless they do a drastic change, they're not going to hit them. So we'll have to wait and see. What about the zoom on the S24? Yes, as I said earlier, it does look like the current rumor mill is for the Galaxy Z full, or sorry, Galaxy S24 Ultra, that it might have a bigger sensor, 50 megapixel sensor, on it that will essentially give a high resolution, or even I think it was a 50. I want to say it was 50, but a larger sensor itself. So not just 50 megapixels, but also a larger sensor, so that it would be a higher quality. And then using that sensor, you could do a 10x, and it should be about the same as a lower or sorry, not a lower resolution, lower megapixel and lower size sensor at a 10x. Essentially, it should also be better in low light too. How will this turn out? We'll have to wait and see. I do not know yet, but I'm very curious to see how it turns out. Um, yeah, I'm not really sure to see how well it will do, because I think, I don't know. I just, I do like the idea of larger sensors more than but zoom is a tricky thing. It like, I think it'll be good in some instances, but I will tell you that my Samsung having a 10 optical was still better than my Pixel having a 50 megapixel sensor at 5x zoomed in a lot of the times. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it. That for me, at least right now, this one seemed to be better. Um, Stuff I don't need to buy, but it's out there. That's right. Sums up our world. Yup, sure does. um, 31613 glove. There you go. Ricky, I ordered a Pixel 8 Pro 512 unlocked October 15th from Best Buy. Still waiting to receive it. Do you know if Google is having any kind of delays? Thank you. I got mine from Best Buy actually. Pixel did send me one. It was too small of a storage size for me, so I sold that one and bought my own with a bigger storage size. Um, this one I got from Best Buy actually. I did get it opening day, launch day, so I did get it And I remember the colors were already going to be longer time, so I got the black because of that. I would have wanted to get the green or the blue. I think it was the blue this year. Green I had last year. I wanted to get the blue, but I couldn't because the blue would have taken, I think, like 3 weeks or 2 weeks longer at the time of launch. So I was like, well, not gonna wait for that, so I'll just have to get the blue. And that's what I did. But I have the 512 gig version as well. So I the first thing I have to ask is, what color did you get? Because those were slated at day one launch to come later. So I'm wondering if they just really underestimated that that how many they were getting. Because yeah, it looks like it might have done a trickle event kind of thing. I think a transformer got damaged near me. Power flickering for a bit. Hope you're doing well, everyone. Oh man, hope you're doing okay, Quiet Storm. Yeah, really hope that's better. That AI pin is a gadget equivalent to the first Prius. Trying to show you your hip in the room. Oh yes. What time is it? Oh yes. Because yeah, it literally, the difference of it is seeing a display on your hand that's a laser projected display versus just turning your wrist over and looking at your watch. That's essentially what this device is. $24 a month. I cannot. I just, it still pisses me off. You guys know me. I'm very usually anti subscription model. Like, I don't like subscriptions. They're just not. They're not really for me. I have to be able to justify it. Like, okay, if I'm paying monthly for this, this better save me paying monthly for something else. Like the garden thing, I was like, okay, if I'm really into vegetables and fruits and all that kind of stuff, and they have gone up in price a lot, like at least in my area and for LA, um, these do add up. So I'm like, okay, so if I'm paying $20 a month, I'm getting a smart assistant, and I'm not having to buy any of this produce anymore. So buying about three of those produce would equal about $20 for me and some of those things. So there you go. Like, it has to make sense. If it doesn't, I just can't justify it. I can't. Um. Woo. Samsung scatter. I mean glass. I updated my S22 Ultra shortly after it started losing service, and now I'm getting the worst every day. I tried factory resetting it, did not help. Then I got a new SIM card, got better for a day than any. Wow, sorry, David. I would personally check if there's another update. Like on the hour, every hour kind of thing. Um, yeah, I don't think they offer rollback updates anymore, but I would go to a Best Buy store and talk to the Samsung reps there. They could flash your phone, but I don't know if they're allowed to flash it to an older version of the service. But if they do have a newer version, they might be able to help with that. Or they could also have you. Um, what is the service for Samsung? Samsung has a service where they can remote access your device. It's not Samsung Store. I forgot what it was now. Samsung Members. Samsung Members allows Samsung to take over your phone remotely. It's kind of like having a under their support section, you can register it, you can diagnose it, and you can remote support from here, so that they can take over your phone and see anything that's wrong with it from a technical side. So I would recommend doing that. Samsung Members is an app you can get on the Google Play Store, or probably the Samsung Galaxy Store as well. Samsung and T-Mobile had no answer other than replacing the phone. Should I wait for the S24 Ultra using my no? Um, yeah, I don't. You could wait for the S24 Ultra. I would say it's more worth it at this point to wait for the S24 Ultra than getting the S23 Ultra, unless the S23 has a good deal. I only saw that the Fold had a really good deal right now. Let me check. Let me do a quick check and see if the S24 let's see. How much is a trade-in right now for your S22 Ultra? Let's go ahead and see. So unlocked. Ooh. Yeah, see, at least as of right now, I don't see any really good deal for the S23. Uh, let's see. $800 trade-in, like, I feel like there should be better, but I mean, your S22 Ultra would get you $800 off. So if you do trade it in at Samsung right now, it would be 300 bucks. I mean, I think that would be about the same price to repair your phone. But that is for, a 256 gig model. I'm not sure if you have the 512. Um, but yeah, that would be kind of a quick solution right now. It doesn't, yeah. I would, as of right now, they don't have any really good Black Friday deal for it. Maybe check for the Black Friday deal. Maybe this guy might know. I don't know. All right. All right. Let's see. I love Google Messages now better on my Pixel Fold than on my Z Fold 3. Google RCS messages are sweeter to me. Oh, yeah, no, it's great for sure. I already got it the other day. What'd you get the other day? I'm not sure what that conversation was about. I say record and upload gives it time for you to sleep the Thanksgiving eats. Got it. So Apple should be punished for making a messenger that people love to use according to your logic. No, Apple should make it do what's best for consumers, like all companies should. That's the logic. RCS is a standardized way of messaging that Apple should adopt because it's better for everyone. Like, there's no downside for everyone as a consumer if Apple would adopt it. So, just like Type C, it stopped Apple from making eco waste for thousands and thousands and thousands of just piles of eco waste that they were making. It stopped them from doing that. Got them closer to being neutral, which they are obviously talking about now. They're so much closer to being carbon neutral all of a sudden. Even though I hate the term carbon neutral to begin with from any company. I just I hate the idea of, oh yes, we're paying people to not cut down trees. So that makes it like that, even if they weren't planning on cutting down the trees. It's such a scam for all tech companies. I hate the carbon neutral argument. Um, Owl being gone shows you sort of weird obsession with Owl. So better. Oh my god, Carlos, go away, dude! Like you're so pathetic. Um, Galaxy S8 Plus tablet or Galaxy 9 or Galaxy 9 Plus FE. Which do you think is better? I don't know enough yet about the S9 FE. Let's see. Let's see. Can we compare them on the website? Let me learn more. Buy now. Let me see if I can compare these. I hate Samsung's website sometimes. Like, just let me compare when actually going on the product, not having to go to compare, just to just look at it. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can take a better look at this. So you're asking about the S9 FE Plus versus the Tab S8 Plus. So I'm curious what the starting price now is of the S8 Plus, because it definitely should not be $899 if this is $599. But let's keep going. Um, so both 12.4. This one has a newer version of Android. This one has an Exynos chip. What are you doing on it? And then I will tell you if that matters or not. For most people, it probably wouldn't matter. But if you are doing like gaming, or higher end gaming rather, if you're just watching videos on it, does not matter. Um, and both of these have LCD, if I'm not mistaken, so that part wouldn't matter either. I'm 80% positive these have LCD on it, but I would have to check on that. RAM and storage look about the same. Both have micro SD cards. Both have the same battery. This has a newer version of Bluetooth. This has a better version of Wi-Fi. Cameras shouldn't matter, but so the front is going to be better on this one, and the rear. Um, so yeah, this one has a better overall camera. This one has a faster charger, so that's important to note. This one has a faster charger, and this one's lighter. Overall, for a $300 difference, if this one is still real, is this one really still that much? I know it was, like, I get it when it came out, but no, yeah. So this is $699 now. Oh no, nope, it is $899. Okay, so if this is still really $899, then I would probably go with the FE Plus. I mean, for $300 difference, unless you are doing some higher end stuff like video editing or gaming, that's when you would want the S8 Plus. But if not, I wouldn't do it. All right. Oh man, dude, Carlos, you're obsessed with me. So, all right. Anyway, hey Ricky, you need to do gesture movements on the Galaxy Watch 6 like mine. I found out on 965. Yeah, so I knew about that. I just haven't done a video on it. Um, when I tried it out, it is still in beta for the most part. So it's not. I don't know. I have to find a case scenario to make it a wow factor, because I still don't think it's that good overall. Anyway, but that's just my opinion. Um, It said when the only thing to do is have a messenger because your technology is always copied or behind. Yeah, no, Apple is always behind in technology. It always has been, it always will be. I mean, the thing that made them big was literally what everyone else was doing, in terms of, oh, we'll make it, in like iPhones and iPads were concepts that were already out there. They just made it to consumers instead of businesses. So that was their idea, but it wasn't an original or innovation. It was literally just, oh, let's make it for consumers instead of businesses. But yeah. Let's see. Have a great night. Punching out. Have a great night. Have a great night, John. Yeah, I mean, some people are just sad and they just want attention, so they do things. I have kids, so I understand. Um, I also think I heard Rigsby signal questions more people. Yeah. If anyone wants to ask more questions in the comment section, go ahead and feel free to ask more questions. We'll start wrapping up in about a few minutes. And let me go over. I do have literally 4 videos that are done right now. 2 are waiting for approval for companies, and 2 more are going to be coming out soon. Tab 8 Plus has OLED screen on it. I have it. I thought the Tab 8 Plus didn't have OLED because I thought that was something they only gave the Ultra last year. Let me see. Uh, what? God, Samsung, I really just get so annoyed with your website. Like, I just want to see the specs on this dang thing. Okay. Okay, so the SA Plus does have an OLED display. Okay, now that does change things. I would say for 3 things, right? 3 things that really make it different is going to be that for $300, better processor, I don't think matters as much to most people, but the OLED is a big deal. The OLED is a big deal if you really want to watch a lot of content on it. Like, if you want to watch a lot of content across the board, like, that is something that, yeah, I would have to say that is going to be the biggest thing to make me go for the SA Plus. But this is going off of Samsung's website, so right. So let me just do one quick search just to make it a little bit maybe more bearable, right? Let's see. So if I look on Amazon, I can see that I can get this tablet for $639. Now, comparing those two is more interesting, right? So, comparing that one at $599 for $639, this is a better processor and a better display. This changes it to this one. So, for that alone, I would recommend the S8 Plus over that, but don't pay the Samsung price for it. Pay the Amazon price because it's only a $40 difference then. So that is a much better way to go, and definitely what I would recommend more so than yeah, like that is a much better one. Yes, it's last year's model, but it's not like an FE model, right? So it has the higher end processor, but you're getting the better display. For $40 difference, easily OLED is worth it. Easily OLED's worth it. It wasn't at 300. I'm like, even I couldn't, like, I'm like, oh, that's a hard one. But yeah, so that. Um, thank you. Not gaming on a tablet, just normal stuff. Thanks. So, but yeah, Edward, I would say for $40 difference, if you want to watch any kind of content, that's mainly what you're getting a tablet for. I would for sure go for that. Not to mention that the Tab S8 Plus will have more accessories made for it at this point too. All right. Let's see. I have a Samsung Classic 4 watch. Battery lasts only maybe a day or last or less. I'm guessing is what you meant. Do you have a video to make it last longer on there or something I could do? So the one thing I will say, Paul, is like one thing you could do to make it last longer that other people have said, and I noticed it does improve the battery life, is if you don't need the GPS. If you don't need the GPS and if you do turn it off, that will make it last longer. The other option is Wi-Fi. I don't recommend turning off Wi-Fi just because there's been too many times where I've been like when I tried turning it off, and I would be going from so if I would be going from all the way to the living room to where my office is, that's the opposite ends of the house. Bluetooth would disconnect at that point, but Wi-Fi would still work. So I would still get notifications on my watch because they're connected via Wi-Fi instead of just Bluetooth. So that's why I would still use Wi-Fi. But those are the two things you could turn off that will help you out with your battery life. Get an average of at least a couple of hours more. 4 to 6 is what I would average both of them at. But I would say you would get about at least 3 more hours if you turn off GPS. The FE has LT, the other one doesn't. The FE has LTE. Well, I mean, you can get the. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. You can get an LTE version of the Tab S8 Plus, but the FE by default doesn't have LTE. Does it? I've not really been that interested in the FEs, so I do apologize for my lack of knowledge on them. I really feel like, man, see, this is the kind of stuff that makes me want to go full time. Like I would have known this before. I would have known this off the top of my head before, but I don't know as much about these anymore. Connected experience. No. Let's see. Samsung. Like, why don't you have an easy to click specs for each of these products at the bottom like you used to? Or stop making just like the splash pages instead of the FE has LT, the other one doesn't. Oh, sorry, I was thinking of the Ultra. Okay, yeah, because I'm like, collaborate effortlessly plus 5G on the FE model means you. So it does say that the FE has 5G. If it has 5G at that price, but hold on, I didn't see that. Let me see. Let's take a look at this. Okay, see, that's the interesting part. When I click the FE, right, I only see a Wi-Fi model. God damn, stop it. I only see a Wi-Fi model. I don't see an LTE model. But it said in its splash page that it does have 5G on it. So I'm a little bit confused on that. Okay, wait a minute. So it looks like the regular FE has a cellular option. But does that also make it go up? So the regular FE does have a cellular option, but the FE Plus does not. So if you were talking about the FE Plus versus the Tab S8 Plus, the FE Plus, at least on Samsung's own website, does not have an LTE option. The standard FE though does. So the standard FE, you can put it on, a carrier and call it a day, and have 5G or LTE on it. Ultra didn't have 5G. Got it. Got it. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, then I will call that a show, guys. Thank you guys so much. Need to get going. But I will call it a show. Thank you guys for watching. And more videos will be coming out. Again, 2 are already done, just waiting for approval from brands so I can post them. And then some more will be coming out as well on the Pixel 8 Pro, as well as the OnePlus Open. I am returning it. Um, I really wanted to like it, but it goes to show you how if you don't get software right, it really is just annoying. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give a like, thumbs up before you head out. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.
Thank you so much again for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Also, follow us on social media at YouTube